Okay, so we all know about muses, right? That person, and often throughout history it has been talked about as women, the one who inspires you to create great works of art. Dante had Beatrice, Woody Allen had both Diane Keaton and Mia Farrow. Kate Hudson has Matt Bellamy. See, he's from the band Muse. See what I did there? And here in Canada, Adam Egoyan has Arsinee Khanjian, or should I say, Arsinee has Adam. They seem to bring up the best in each other. Ever since they met on the set of Adam's first feature, Next of Kin, they've been nearly inseparable.
He ripped up everyone's drawings and then threatened to kill the model.
Arsinee has appeared in many of Adam's films, including The Sweet Hereafter, which earned him 2 Oscar nods.
I want the person to go to jail for the rest of his life.
She's picked up great reviews for appearing in her husband's work, even won a Genie Award for her role in Ararat, an epic take on conscience and culpability during and after the Armenian genocide, an event that loomed large in both their families.
Your father died for something he believed in.
I just wish I had some idea what that was.
But Arsinee has a thriving career on her own. Won a Gemini for CBC's Foolish Heart, made by another Canadian auteur, Ken Finkelman.
You're the beating heart.
And now the couple has joined forces on a play, the couple being Arsinee and Adam, not Arsinee and Ken. It's called Cruel and Tender, an update of a Sophocles play.
When a man marries a woman, he stays with that woman.
Adam and Arsinee, come on up. How are you? Nice to see you. How are you? Welcome. It's nice to have the two of you on here together. You've both been on it individually, but this is nice.
Yeah, this is a nice salon. I'm very happy to be here with you,
Very comfortable.
George. Yeah.
Thank you. I mean, how's the play coming together? How is this? I mean,
It's exciting. It's like really different from making a film because it's so out there. Like basically every day, everyone is working on it and knows exactly what the end result it is. It's not like on a film, everything is sort of, it's all in the director's head because it's only the director who sort of pieces it all together. But with a play, everyone knows what's there and everyone's contributing, and it's very, it's exciting.
Does the themes work today? You know, when you hear about Saif Gaddafi being tried in Libya, I mean, there is a real connection between art and, right?
Oh, absolutely. And this notion of deposition, this notion of, you know, something being replaced, right? And the notion, like we've seen, obviously, over the past year, all these leaders be replaced.
I mean, there is something exhilarating about change, especially oppressive regimes or rulers and so on. And it's fascinating in the last 10 years how many we saw fall, like these dictators, these, I mean, you would have never imagined that could happen. But then the question, and it's the, I mean, when I saw Gaddafi in that little video, or even Saddam Hussein, you know, I'm sure I'm not the only person on the planet. I did think about the man, just that human being at that moment. And my heart somehow cringed with this pain for the person.
Well, he's a human being.
He's a human being.
Yeah.
So what happens after that? How do we find ourselves? And this is an even more difficult phase, I think, than fighting what you are fighting for a number of years.
What do you think of the news? So France has come out, and it's pretty much going to be law. They assume that it's just a rubber stamp away from being law, that it would be illegal to basically deny the Armenian genocide. Turkey, understandably freaked out about this, has had some sort of weird veiled threats about what they're going to do about it. But what do you think about that? This has been a big part of your story as well.
Yeah, it's a huge part of our story. I mean, I think it's just astonishing, I think, when we're kids to be believing and being told that it's a struggle that you have to fight for, and that one day it's going to actually gain some sort of recognition, and that in our lifetime, and you know, we've seen that happen, and it's actually really inspiring to think that change can happen.
There's quite a power couple in the public eye for sure. I want to play a clip here. Let's go back. Let's go way back. Way back. Watch this.
Oh.
Oh, look at that. 1984, Next of Kin.
That's really funny. That was the reason I'm in that shot with that crazy 80s hair is because it was
84.
We're shooting in a tiny little room, and it was all one shot. It was the only place I could actually direct and actually watch the scene, so I had to be in it. So it's kind of a bizarre.
It's a significant moment in your life.
Very significant moment. Yeah, I mean, it's where we. I met Arsinee in Montreal. She was doing a play there, and invited her to come to Toronto, and we fell in love, and that's what happened. I mean, it was kind of, yeah. I mean, it's. Yeah. It's been a kind of an amazing thing, at that point that our lives would intersect.
We hear a lot and people joke about working with your spouse. Is it a challenge? You've been in pretty much everything short of Chloe, essentially. You guys have been together on...
Yeah, it's funny. Well, if it's a challenge, not more of a challenge than having a relationship sustain itself, and as long as ours has. I mean, the challenge is really seriously in this belief that you want to make it work because it's worth something. And I think for both of us, beyond our frustrations over the years and beyond our, need for perhaps break away and, go somewhere different, we have always realized that we need each other to be in a particular place at a given time. We love what we do, and we happen to be really, really very connected at the level of our work. So, for instance, when they ask us, well, do you bring work home? Like now that you're doing this all day long together, we do bring it home. And we don't even think twice about it.
It's natural. We don't necessarily see a break. I mean, I think what was really, really amazing and is that in our 20s, we connected, and we made a couple of trips, and we kind of had a fantasy of what we could end up doing together, and we worked really hard, and we started really small. Like, it's amazing when you look at that film. That film was like shot for like nothing, and it's been very incremental, and it's just built, and we've just really worked hard at it, and I think it's been very gratifying.
I'm glad you're here today, too, because, the people who made Monsieur Lazare, which is a wonderful film, you have, a unique experience in it. You know what it's like to have this Oscar talk around you, an Oscar nomination. What's the tangible effect on your career? Like, what can they expect?
It's huge, right? Because, I mean, I came to realize, and I happened to be nominated the same year that Titanic was nominated, which was bizarre for a few reasons. First of all, that James Cameron is also Canadian. So, we had this incredible moment, I remember, at the nominees' luncheon where he came up to me and said, you know what? We both kind of made the same movie. And I went, oh, yeah? And he said, yeah, like large metal objects crashing through ice. I mean, his happened to be the Titanic, mine was a bus. But, I mean, I guess he had some sort of point, but it was like...
But he had seen it!
But he'd seen it, but I think what happened is that I wasn't really aware of it at the time, but that was like so widely watched because of the Titanic, and of course it's like, I have to say, I wasn't one of these kids that kind of fantasized about ever being nominated for the Academy Awards. It was like, for me, it was all about the Cannes Film Festival and like the film festival world. But when it happened, you realize that it puts you in a certain focus, and it's sort of the way, I mean, you're known as someone who has gone through this experience, which in my case was not something that was likely. I didn't plan it, it just happened. The film happened to gain this attention, and it was like really crazy. It's also, that particular year, it was kind of really relaxing because you knew that Titanic was going to win. Like, there was no question about that. So you could just kind of enjoy the show. Like, there was no way that you were going to suddenly, beat James Cameron. Like,
although it just there were a few seconds where we thought you might have done that.
There was one moment where, when they announced the winner, I thought that he actually stumbled over the name, and I thought, well, that's because my name's unpronounceable. But when I went back and watched the tape, actually, it was a millisecond. But in my own mind, because everything is so concentrated.
Not only yours, mine too. I thought, okay, he can't breathe Atom Egoyan. It's
but anyway, but James Cameron won, I guess. Nothing's going to change that, George.
No.
James Cameron won that year.
He did. He was the king of the world. How could he not, right?
So, we can be bitter about it. We can kind of complain, but in fact, he won.
He did win. Make sure you check out the play. It's called Cruel and Tender, which is playing in Toronto until February 18th at the Bloom Appel Theatre. Adam Egoyan and Arsinee Khanjian. Great to see you guys.
Great to see you.